everyone, it's Mr. Frazier. I'm just about to start our first of these video flipped classroom lessons of the year. I just wanted to welcome you and let you know that if you're going to listen to me and answer these questions, and if I'm going to give you feedback, I wanted you to see how silly I look while I do these videos. And this may be an awkward process for you, and it may be weird to hear your teacher through your computer, but I want you to know that this is a valuable part of the process, and that if you need any help, I want you to email me or ask me questions in class. So, let's begin. So for today, we're going to be discussing the parts of a map. Now this may seem like a basic and very silly thing for me to have to describe to you after 6 years now of being in a classroom, but we want to make sure we're all starting on the same page. Our goals for this lesson will be to take the major parts of a map and ensure that you understand what they are and the basic functions they each have. There are 5 parts of the map that we will focus on today. These are the compass rose, titles and labels, scale, keys and legends, and also many maps have what are called insert maps. These also can be called inset maps. So let us talk about the compass rose. The compass rose will help the reader of the map know what direction the map is oriented in or facing. Now, a common mistake by most 6th graders is that all maps point north, or that the top of the map is always north. And that's just not true. In fact, most maps are drawn on an angle, and the compass will look something like this, or even this. And often, the compass is simply a line with a letter written around it. Now, that's not incredibly helpful if we don't know what a compass should look like. So, this is why memorizing the points of a compass are going to be incredibly critical to us as a learner of geography. The easiest way for us to remember the compass rose is never eat soggy waffles or never eat shredded wheat. Whichever breakfast you prefer, or don't prefer actually, should be the way you remember it. So, never eat soggy waffles. That's just disgusting. So these points, north, east, south, and west, whether they're drawn or not, okay, should be known by you, because these are called our cardinal directions. I'm going to write this here because it's important. I'm also going to spell it wrong. See, one of my first mistakes. So look, cardinal directions. These are north, east, south, and west. Then we have what are called the intermediate directions. Intermediate directions are those points in between, intermediate, in between north and east, east and south, south and west and north. We always use north or south first to give us our general direction, whether it's above or below. And so we have north of east, because it goes right here. It's north of the east point. Then we have north of west, because it's north of the west point. Then we have southeast, because it's south of the east point, and we have southwest, because it's south of the west point. This design of the compass rose will appear in some way on each map you see. If it's missing from the map, you will have a difficult job finding where you are. Alright, now to the second part of maps, titles or labels. Titles are often found at the top of a map, but not always. They're usually bold and the largest written words on the map. These will tell you what the map is all about. Labels are different. Labels are also words on the map, but these words or phrases are written directly onto the map, and they are meant to give clarity to the reader. So basically, their job is to tell you what's something on the map, whether it's a symbol or whether it's a a set of lines, is really looking like. So let's take a look at an example here on this next page. We have a map here of India, and we know it's India for a very simple reason: our title. Now, our title even goes as far as telling us what type of map it is. It is an outline map, and in fact, it is a political outline map. This is because it has the shapes of countries and districts within, well, states within India. Now, this is our title right here. Now, where are our labels? I'll pause for a moment. You're right. Our labels are right here. Here, 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 and here. Yes, there's a lot of labels. Labels are really crucial to us as geographers as we look at the maps around the world. These will tell us exactly what we're looking at. Without them, if we're not educated about a place beforehand, if we haven't looked at examples beforehand, this just looks like a bunch of lines written there with blue. It's not very helpful, and you can't really use it. Speaking about using it, there's one more part of the map here that we just talked about, and that is the compass. Notice, this here is our example that I spoke about before. The compass, as you can see, does not have east, south, west, or any of the intermediate directions listed here. But we know east is over here, south is here, and we know west is here, and we know this is northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. So, we have our title, we have our labels, and we have our compass right here on our example. All right, next we have scale. Scale, and yes, we will show you how to use this, but not today, shows you what the map is really compared to in reality when we're talking about size. For example, 1 inch on the map is supposed to represent 100 miles. That's a simple concept, but when we start talking about 3/4 of an inch, or 5 inches, or 3 centimeters, scale starts to become more difficult. For right now, all I'm concerned with is that you can find the scale. So, how are we going to find the scale? It will look something like this. It will have numbers along a line, and it will generally have some label that describes what it is. And as long as you can find it today, I can teach you how to use it in the future. Our next part of the map is the key or legend. This incredibly important part of a map is the area where the map's symbols are defined. It's basically the glossary or dictionary of the map, and every map will have one. They're usually located within a box, and they'll have a number of different symbols located there for you to find within the map, and then there'll be a description of it, sometimes one word, and sometimes they go as far as writing paragraphs about what the symbol represents. In essence, this helps you interpret the map. Maps sometimes can be hard to understand. Symbols on a map sometimes are placed there and seem to be disconnected to its purpose. The key or legend helps you to read the map and to understand what you're looking at, find what you're looking for, and move forward with your day. Our last part of the map is my favorite, the insert map. It's my favorite for a very simple reason, and that insert maps are a smaller map placed inside of another map. So you get twice as many maps. Isn't that great? So look, the insert map is very simple. Sometimes a map is zoomed in, and it's very difficult to understand what you're looking at and where it's from and where it is. So in our example here, you can see that this bigger map is really just a small section of the country of China. As you can see, it's grayed out here, and it's the same shape here, So we now know if we looked at a larger map of China, one that shows the entire country, if we want to know what's going on in that section, we can use this map. So insert maps are very particular, and they help us to understand size and scale to a greater extent than simply just looking at this other map. Alright everybody, now we're going to try some examples out. I know in this next part I sound a little bit like Dora the Explorer, but try to play along. I'd like for you to try and find these pieces of the map, these parts of a map, before I actually point them out to you. It may help you to actually point at the screen. Whatever you do though, let's use this time for some practice. Now I'd like to put us to the test. Where is the title? Look at this and find the title. The title's right here, the United States. And you can tell it's the title because it's at the top, it's the largest font, and it's the largest size font as well. Where are the labels? You're right. All of these states where it's written in are labels. We know they're labels because they describe what's underneath it. Where is the scale on this map? You're right, the scale is right here. And we know it because it has this line here. It has numbers representing what that line is. And again, we'll teach you how to use this later. What parts are missing from this? Absolutely, there's no compass. What about insert maps? Are they here? You're right. The insert maps are right here. So as you can see, most maps will have the parts of a map that we talked about today. Let's look at another example. Do we have a key? Absolutely. The key is located here. Again, it's within a box, and it has the symbols and a label for that symbol. Where are the labels? You're right, there are many labels. Cape Bajador, you have the Niger River, you have the Nile River, and again, these describe what you are seeing. Where's the compass? Absolutely, the compass is up here in the corner. What is missing from this map? Is there a title? Yes, there is a title, but it's not at the top. It's located right here. How about a scale? Is there a scale on this map? Nope, there's no scale, but there is a set of numbers here, and these refer to the height of the mountain. So sometimes numbers may throw you off and you may assume it's scale. A good point of reference is to look for the line or even an equal sign with size on one side and something like inches or centimeters on the other. So again, here's another example, and the parts of the map that we said would be on most maps were here. So please go back, please remember our 5 parts of a map. Please remember to do your assignment below.